Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Almost lunchtime. Please stay with us. Okay, so I'm Larissa Nodem. I'm very pleased to have you today. We're going to have a workshop on resilience. So the title of our workshop is What Nuclear Professional knows about resilience. So the concept of this workshop came about a year ago, from HEXANA CEO, Sylvain. I don't know where he is. He's missing. He had the idea to talk a little bit more about how to, especially for young professionals, how to overcome difficult situations, challenges, because our industry is not only success, but also some difficult moments, and we want to talk a little bit more about that. So, oh yeah, sorry. So we are going to take this moment for an honest reflection on, especially for young professional, on understanding that a career path, is not linear, is not only growth, but it can be different path, different ways. Sorry. We love to hear about success stories, but we also need to hear about like the reality and the project that was led, the innovation, but also the difficult moment and the doubt that the inspiring professional may had in their professional careers. I think our industry itself is like the living demonstration of resilience. We can think about the political, but also the public acceptance, which shift often in the past decades, accidents, technological breakthrough, and it increase in growth throughout the years. So with no further ado, I'm going to introduce my first speaker, Julia Cantel, for the starting.
Thank you, Larissa.
I will do it.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi. 10 moves, 4 countries, 3 children, 1 passion for nuclear energy. I am Julia Cantel, head of licensing at HEXANA, where we are designing a cooled fast sodium reactor. I have been in love with nuclear energy since I was 20. From the very start, I chased every opportunity to learn. Internships in the USA, on Colorado's uranium mines. Again, yeah, thank you. In the USA, on Colorado's uranium mines. In Belgium, for the decommissioning of the first water pressurized reactor. And in France, on radioactive waste incineration unit. I joined EDF company in 2010 in Marseille as a nuclear safety engineer, then within the Design Safety Authority. Afterwards, in 2015, I moved north to Gravelines, Europe's largest nuclear power plant, to lead a team. Next, in 2020, I crossed the channel to work in the UK on Hinkley-Point C project as a nuclear safety project manager. Finally, in 24, I joined HEXANA company as head of licensing in Aix-en-Provence. Then I moved again this summer to Paris to work closely with the safety nuclear regulator. Over 20 years, 10 moves, work on Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4 class reactors, always with the nuclear safety as a common thread, from design to construction, operation, maintenance, and decommissioning. It was not a walk in the park. Each move meant new technology, new colleagues, new rituals, new codes. And at home, new language, new schools, new doctors, new friends, new everything. And I did it 4 times with my kids. Today, they are 10, 8, and 6. Resilience wasn't a quote on a wall. It was the only way through. The hardest move, the UK. Back in 2019, my husband received an offer to work in the UK on Hinkley-Ponty project. At that time, my English was weak, as I didn't have too much exposure. I had 2 kids, 4 and 2, and was pregnant with a 3rd one. Part of me said, not now, this is not the right time, and you don't speak English. Life said, 2 months. In reality, we moved 2 months after I had given birth. Fast forward a few weeks, in the UK, I am in a hospital, and my daughter has broken her arm. I am alone. My husband is away on a business. The doctor speaks. I don't understand anything. Anything. We use Google Translate to navigate pain, care, consent, treatment. And at that time, I understand something very clearly. This is not just about getting a job. This is about dignity, safety, agency for my family. I had to act fast. So I did what we do in nuclear energy. I built layers. I took evening classes at the University of Bristol every Tuesday from 6 to 9. 1 conversation a day, however awkward. 1 page of vocabulary every night, giving myself paid talk every day. And slowly, my English improved. Confidence followed. And then a door opened. I joined EDF UK in 2020 and stepped onto Europe's largest construction site. 11,000 people working together. 1 purpose, to put steel, concrete, and excellence together so a community can have access to clean energy for generations. That experience transformed me. But I didn't do it alone. All along, I had allies, teachers, mentors, family, colleagues. At the forefront, it was my husband. We have been sharing the same passion for nuclear for 20 years. And because allies helped me, I wanted to be an ally back. So in 2020, I created an NGO dedicated for EDF expat partners. During the pandemic, it was during the COVID situation in 2020, we started as 10 people. Within 6 months, we were 75. We built 10 teams, communication, social event, climate talks, website, and we rotated roles every 6 months. So as many people as possible could have their real responsibilities listed on their CVs, avoiding gaps. Some didn't speak English yet. We navigated around that. It worked. Several women found a job thanks to that team. Moreover, in 2021, our NGO won first place at the HPC Excellence Awards among 450 nominees, which was the highest recognition in the UK for EDF UK. That day, on stage, it wasn't EDF employees. It was their partners, We later presented our work to the French embassy in London, to the British embassy in Paris, even to some senators. When I started that project, I had no idea how big it could be. I also work for Women in Nuclear and speak in top universities, at school, even to 4-year-olds. Pro tip, 4-year-olds are brutally honest, highly demanding audience. If you can explain them fission without losing the room, then you can brief a minister. So, what did all these moves, all these teams, all these nights at class actually teach me about resilience? 3 things. First, defense in depth. In nuclear safety, we don't rely on a single barrier. We design layers. So, if the first plan fails, the person doesn't. In life, defense in depth looks like this. Plan A, get fluent fast. Plan B, build a strong support network. Plan C, redesign your goals for the next quarter. Second, margins matter. In engineering, margins are not waste. They are what keeps systems safe under stress. In life, margins take the form of sleep, learning time, relationships. Even when my schedule was busiest, protecting those margins was non-negotiable. Third, diversity and redundancy. Different minds spot different potential failure. Redundant support carries you through transient. Mixed team, communities, networks. This is not a slogan. This is a safety function. Here's a twist. I didn't want to come at first in the UK. Not at all. Because I was scared. Scared of the language, scared of losing my professional identity, scared of starting again. And yet, that move became a game changer. From Google translating hospital conversation in 2020 to delivering in English a speech on nuclear energy at the Élysée Palace in 2023 in front of 2 heads of states, President Emmanuel Macron and British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. If you had told me that a few years earlier that would happen, I would have laughed. It seemed impossible until it wasn't. So, if you are facing your own move, a new challenge, a new country, a new team, here's my invitation. Design your layers before you need them. Guard your margins as if safety depended on them, because it does. Build redundant, diverse support so you can ride through the unexpected. And when the door won't open, take the window. If the stairs are blocked, take the fire escape. And if you must take the chimney, not luck, persistence, not fast, consistency. Here are my final words. Be audacious, be tenacious, but always with kindness. Thank you.
That's a hard one to follow, isn't it? Wow, amazing. Thank you, Julia. Hi, I'm Callum Thomas. I also have my journey. It's a different journey. I'm going to give you some of my some information about my journey. Huh? Resilience. When the slides don't work. One second. Okay, they don't have the slides. There are no slides. So I'm going to go ahead without the slides to show resilience live and direct. So I have two brothers, one older, one younger. When I was 6, my dad had his own company, and he worked hard. He worked really hard. And the deal he did with my mum was he was allowed to work at the weekend if he took us to the office. So when I was 6, I spent a lot of weekends at my dad's office. And I think that's when I knew. I knew when I was 6 that I would start my own business. I didn't know what it would be, but I knew I would start my own business. Fast forward 25 years, 2009, and I started Thomas Thor. So we are a recruiting, executive search, workforce consulting organization dedicated to the nuclear industry. We have offices across Europe, Middle East, and North America. We basically find people for the nuclear industry, and we help people build their careers and build their dreams in the nuclear sector. It's been a lot of hard work. 15 years into the journey so far, and it's been an amazing journey, but it has been hard work. So I want to just share some of the things that I've learned about resilience along the way. The first one is, hang on, I don't have my slides. Yeah, okay. The first one is resilience is really easy if you have a goal, if you have a plan to achieve that goal, if you're determined, if you have determination, and if you have passion for what you're doing, then it's really quite easy. If you lose something of those 4 along the way, then it becomes difficult. If your goal becomes a bit fuzzy, or if your determination or motivation wanes, then everything becomes difficult. But I think the easiest way to have resilience is not to have the most strong willpower in the world, but to make sure you have a goal and that you have a plan to hit that goal and that you are determined and it really means something to you and that you're passionate about it. And for me, over the 15 years in my company, the goal has changed and the plan has changed, but the determination has stayed and the passion has stayed. And I think I never knew anything about the nuclear industry before I started my company. I knew about recruiting, I knew about executive search, I knew about HR consulting. I didn't know about nuclear, but it looked like a really nice sector to work in. And I've just been astonished about the people and the culture. And I know a lot of people that work in a lot of different sectors, and we are lucky to be working in a sector that's so truly collaborative and is doing something great for the world. So that's something that's the first thing I've learned. The second thing is that resilience is about kind of the struggle. Oh look, I've got slides. Now I'm in my flow without slides. So thank you. That's me when I knew. That's my company now. This is determination, the plan, passion, and a clear goal. And this is the struggle. So this is where we got to. So resilience, the struggle is addictive. And actually, I think we can learn something about that in the nuclear sector, because if you look at the last few decades, most people that have been in leadership roles, what has set them apart is their resilience. Carrying on despite the odds, despite the negativity, despite the challenges, just being resilient. Actually, I think we don't need that anymore. We now need to deliver. The age of resilience has kind of passed, and we now need to deliver. But what I've found in my journey is it's addictive. And maybe you know people like this as well. When you get stuck in the struggle, it becomes a way of life, and you kind of become used to it, and it becomes familiar, like any other addiction. And one thing I've really learned is we have to shake that, because that then isolates you. If you listen to Julia's story, when you're on your own, it's really hard. It's really, really hard. But if there are people around you, then it's a whole load easier. And if you get stuck in the struggle, then it becomes harder and harder and harder. And I've had times in my company where I've been stuck in the struggle, and I've started realizing I'm addicted to this, and I have to pull myself out of that and get back on the path. The next thing is really in line with what Julia is saying. Human nature is amazing. People want to help. They really, really do. The challenge is you need to ask the right person at the right time, in the right way, for the right thing. And let me take LinkedIn as an example. LinkedIn used to be a small networking tool. It's now this global website. If you contact someone on LinkedIn, there is a 95% chance they ain't going to reply to you. They're just not. The reason is because everyone's emailing everyone. There's so much information in the world. But if you send a message to someone and you explain within 50 words who you are, what you want, and why you want it, then they'll reply to you. And this kind of communication, asking for help, is an art and a science. There's a book called Give and Take, actually, which I read years ago. I recommend everyone to read it, because it's about how to ask someone for help and then how to give back. And one thing I've learned is everybody wants to help generally, but then you can give back. And a lot of my time now is spent giving back to the industry and to people in the industry, helping them develop on their journeys. But the point is everybody wants to help, and it's about just asking in the right way at the right time. So I want to finish with this message. This is also me. Take your chances when they come up. I mean, I can't think of a better example than Julia, but take your chances when they come up. Appreciate the people around you, the people that want to help you, the people that you can help. And don't forget to laugh at it all, because it is just ridiculous what we're all doing. But it has to be fun along the way as well. Thank you.
Thank you both. I think our audience was quite inspiring. We have a time for a few questions, because still it's a workshop, so I'd like to open the floor for questions, if there's any. I think one question per speaker would be great. Don't be shy. You hear about them, right? I can nominate you. Okay, one question.
Hello, Timothée Kamsi from ANDRA. It's the French National Agency for Radioactive Waste Management. My question would be addressed to Julia. Julia, thank you for your inspiring presentation. It was a lot of dedication, and you showed it really well. My question is the next one. What was the motivation behind your decision to switch from EDF and HPC to HEXANA and the nuclear startup environment?
Okay, I got it. It's true, it's not it was not an easy choice because I decided to leave a company with almost 200,000 people from a company with only 3 people when I signed my contract. So it was a big risk. But you know, I think what I'm doing today, it's just once in my life because there is this kind of SMR ebullition, SMR competition, and I wanted to start a project from scratch. So this is actually exactly what I am facing right now. In the same room, I can work with public affairs, communication, thermohydraulic, neutronic, mechanicians, civils, and so on. I learn a lot. I learn every day such a lot of things. So I'm just so happy to have this kind of chance in my career. And as I explained, I've got the same common thread, which is a technical one, which is nuclear safety. All my career, I have been improving this kind of technical skills, higher and higher. Today, I am head of licensing. I deal with nuclear safety authority every day, with the minister, with the defense, with the IAEA. So it's just unique in my life, and I'm just so happy to have this kind of opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you. I see some other question. However, we have to leave this room. But we have the second room, and we can definitely ask the question in the second room. So thank you. Maybe some applause for our speaker again. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.